Hello everyone! In today's video we're gonna see how to animate our HTML elements. We're gonna see how to move our elements from left to right or from top to bottom to get something like this. But before we get started, make sure to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell to receive all my videos. And also, if you want to get a shout out, all you have to do is to be the first one to comment on my video. So let's jump to my computer to show you how we animate our HTML elements. So to animate our HTML elements, all we have to do is to use CSS properties. But before that, I'm gonna just add one of our HTML elements. So let's add, for example, a text or a paragraph. Let's say I'm just gonna add some random text like hello everyone. Okay, so I'm gonna save it. And then I'm gonna style it a little bit. So I'm gonna come here to the style tag and I'm gonna select my paragraph and I'm gonna change the background color. I'm gonna give it the color, like for example, green. And I'm gonna change the color of my text to white. And then I'm gonna say that I want my text to take 10% of the HTML page. Alright, so let's save everything and go back to the browser and refresh, and we have here hello everyone. Now to animate this paragraph, all we have to do is to add the name of our animation. So as we're gonna animate our paragraph, we have to give our animation a name first. So to give our animation a name, all we have to do is to add the animation name property and give our animation a name, any name you want. Let's say here, for example, that I want to give it paragraph animation. So this is the name of my animation. Or let's keep it short. So I'm just gonna name it para anim, something like this. Okay? So I gave name to my animation. Now I gotta set a duration to my animation. So I want my animation to last how much time? Like I want it to last 6 seconds or 10 seconds or 1 hour. So all I have to do here is to add the animation duration property. Let's say that I want my animation to take 6 seconds to be completed. So once I have set these two parameters, all I have to do is to add the @keyframes property. So @keyframes means at some breakpoints. So I want my animation to change. And we will be defining these breakpoints, okay? So @keyframes takes as a parameter the name of our animation. So the name of our animation is this one, para anim. And it is through this name that we will bind our animation name and the @keyframes property. Alright? So we're gonna paste it here. It's like to say that this animation, which is @keyframes, I want it to be applied to this animation, not another animation. Okay? So let's open the curly braces here. And now I will start adding these breakpoints. So let's say that at 0% I want my background color to be in green. Alright? And let's say that, for example, at 25% I want my background color to be in yellow. So all I have to do is to copy and paste here and change the color to yellow. And let's say that at 50% I want my background color to be in another color. So let's say in pink. So let's copy and paste. And after that, I want at 75%, I want my background color to be, like for example, in orange. And at 100%, I want my background color to be in red. Okay? So let's take a look at the browser to see how the animation will be. So you see, as you can see, it changes the color at each breakpoint for 6 seconds. So I'm gonna refresh now once again to see once again the results. So as you can see, the whole animation takes 6 seconds and the color changes. So let's say now that we want to move our element. We have our paragraph, we have the background that changes the color at every breakpoint. So let's say now that we want to move our paragraph from left to right or from bottom to top. Alright, how to do that? So all we have to do here is to add the left and top properties. So at 0%, I want my left or the left of our paragraph to be at 0 pixels and the top to be at 0 pixels as well. And what I will do is I'm gonna just copy these properties and paste them everywhere, here, here, and here also. And I'm gonna just change the value of my left and top properties. So at 25%, I want my text to be at 600 pixels and the top to stay at 0 pixels. And at 50%, I want the left of my paragraph to be at 600 pixels and also the top to be at 600 pixels. And at 75%, I want the left of my paragraph to stay at 0 pixels and the top to be at 600 pixels. And at 100%, I want both my left and my top to stay at 0 pixels. Alright, so let's see here if my paragraph will move. Let's take a look at the browser. So I have refreshed now, but nothing happens. Alright, why? Because we have added our left and top properties, but we did not change the position property of our paragraph. So the position property of any HTML element is by default static. So like here, for example, for the position of my paragraph, it is by default static, always static. Okay? So if I want my paragraph to move, I have to change the value of the position of my paragraph and set it to relative. Okay? So the relative position of our HTML element allows us to take our element out from the flow and place it whenever we want in the HTML page. So let's save everything and go to the browser. Let's refresh, and you see here, so we have our animation. So maybe 600 pixels is too much. I'm gonna just change it to just adjust to the height of the page and set it to, like, let's say 400 pixels, and save everything. Go back to the browser, refresh, and you see, so now we can see our animation clearly. So let's say now that we want to repeat our animation twice or 3 times or 4 times. Okay? So all we have to do here is to come back to our element and add another property, which is animation-iteration-count, and set the value to, like, for example, if we want our animation to be repeated twice, we're gonna set the value to 2. So let's come back to the browser and refresh. And you see, so this is the first time, and this is the second time. Okay? So our animation is repeated twice. Now, let's say that we want our animation to be repeated forever. Okay? So we're gonna change the value to infinite. And we're gonna just save everything and go back to the browser. And you see, so this is the first time. And this is the second time. And our animation will keep running and running, so forever. Okay? It's not gonna stop, never ever. Alright? So because we have changed our value to infinite. Now let's go back to the browser and just change the value and just keep it to, let's say, 3 times. Now let's say that we want to play our animation, but also we want to reverse it. Okay? So we want to play it forward, but also backwards. So all we have to do here is to add animation direction. and set it to reverse. So here with the reverse property, we're gonna play our animation from the beginning in the reversed way. Alright, so let's have a look at the browser. Let's refresh, and you see, so from the beginning, our animation is reversed. Alright, so it's gonna play 3 times. Now this is the second time, and then, so this is the third time, and then it will stop. Alright, and we can play around with the values of our animation direction. So we can change it to, let's say for example, alternate. So alternate value, what will alternate value do is actually it will play the animation for the first time, it will play it forward, and for the second time it will play it backwards, and for the third time it will play it forward. Alright, so it's gonna alternate between both directions, forward and backwards. So let's have a look at the browser. You see, so this is the first time it is played forward, and this is the second time, so it is played backwards. And the third time it will be played forward. Let's say for example that we want our animation to start after 2 seconds. Like, we're gonna refresh the browser, but we don't want our animation to start as soon as we refresh the browser. We want it to start after 2 seconds or after 3 seconds. So all we have to do is to add another property, which is animation delay. And we're gonna set our delay to, let's say, 2 seconds. So let's go to the browser and refresh. And you see, so the start was not immediately. We have waited 2 seconds and then the animation is played. So let's refresh to see it once again. So you see, this is the delay time, and then the animation starts. So that's all for this video. I hope you liked it. So if you found value in it, you can share it with your friends, you can share it with people you know, so that they can benefit also and learn a little bit about CSS and animation. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel to learn more tricks.